Also, we found out during the match that Zelina Vega is switching from Raw to SmackDown, so she will no longer be a part of the LWO. A lot of people are saying that she is going to be managing Andrade when she arrives in SmackDown. Andrade, I don't think, has been on TV for a little bit, so maybe they'll repackage him with Zelina Vega. I think that one of the reasons they're moving Zelina Vega is that Raw is not only did they gain Bayley and Nia Jax, but I also think they're gaining Roxanne Perez. I think that she's going to lose her title in NXT and then move to Raw. And I think they're also going to gain Jordynne Grace. It was released just yesterday that Jordynne Grace has officially signed on with the WWE. I expect her to be at the Royal Rumble this weekend. Of course, she had her WWE debut in the Royal Rumble last year. She also had a few matches in NXT, so people are kind of wondering where Jordynne Grace is going to be. I do not think that she's going to be in NXT. I don't think that that's a good place for her. She's been the TNA champion for years, so that has to mean something. I think that going with the TNA vibes, I think that they should kind of treat her as AJ Styles. When AJ Styles jumped over from TNA to the WWE, and he kind of was already in the mix of at least mid-card matches, if not main event matches. And I think that they should do the same thing with Jordynne Grace and put her in Raw, because for one thing, WWE NXT is stacked right now. They just got Julia and what's her name? Zarya, I think is her name, and Stephanie Vacour. So they have a lot of new faces in NXT, especially on the women's roster. And I feel like Jordynne Grace would just kind of get like lost in the shuffle. Whereas I think that, since Jordynne Grace has had a match with Roxanne Perez that she lost, I think moving Roxanne Perez to the Raw roster, moving Grace to the Raw roster, that already gives them some history. Although I do think they're going to put Roxanne Perez in a program with Bayley. But I could see all of them, not Bayley, but I could see Roxanne Perez and Jordynne Grace being in the mix for the women's IC title as well, with which Lyra Valkyria just won. And of course, she is from NXT recently too. So I think that makes the most sense for Jordynne Grace and all those involved. And I fully expect Jordynne Grace to appear on Raw after Royal Rumble. If she does go to NXT, I kind of understand it, but I think that it would be a mistake. And I think that, the fact that, like I said, Zelina Vega is moving, that does open up the spot for somebody. And I do think it's going to be filled by not just Jordynne Grace, but Roxanne Perez, which we've already seen Roxanne Perez show up on Raw already, starting her little thing with Bayley. And I totally see her losing her title to Julia with Bayley, somehow being involved, either helping Julia or just flat out cheating and making it so Julia can win. And then, her and Roxanne Perez kind of starting a program on Raw. So that's kind of where I see the women's division going. Let me know, what do you think of those ideas? Do you think that you could see all those things happening in Raw, or do you think I'm wrong and Jordynne Grace is going to start in NXT? Let me know in the comments.